Today we are going to learn about an interesting character who was born on the rugged island of Corsica. A young boy named Napoleon Bonaparte would rise to become one of history's most brilliant military strategists and a leader whose name echoes through the centuries. This is the story of Napoleon, his rise, his reign, his fall, and the legacy he left behind. Napoleon Bonaparte was born on August 15, 1769, in Ajaccio, Corsica. His family, of Italian descent, was part of the minor nobility, but their status did not shield them from the hardships of life in Corsica, which had recently been annexed by France. At just 9 years old, Napoleon left his home to attend military school in mainland France. Despite facing challenges due to his Corsican accent and background, Napoleon quickly excelled in his studies, particularly in mathematics and military tactics. By the age of 16, he graduated from the prestigious École Militaire in Paris, becoming a second lieutenant in the French artillery. The outbreak of the French Revolution in 1789 provided Napoleon with opportunities to advance his career. In 1793, he made a name for himself during the siege of Toulon, where his innovative use of artillery led to a decisive victory for the revolutionary forces. This success earned him a promotion to brigadier general at the age of just 24. Though Napoleon's rise was rapid, it was not without setbacks. He was briefly imprisoned during the Reign of Terror due to his associations, but his release saw him assigned to the Army of Italy, where his military genius would soon shine. In 1796, Napoleon took command of the French Army of Italy. Despite being poorly equipped and outnumbered, he transformed his army into a powerful force. Through a series of brilliant campaigns, Napoleon defeated the Austrian and Sardinian forces, securing French dominance in the region and cementing his reputation as a military prodigy. His victories culminated in the Treaty of Campo Formio in 1797, which expanded French territory and showcased Napoleon's diplomatic acumen. But this was just the beginning of his ambitions. In 1798, Napoleon set his sights on Egypt. His goal was to disrupt British trade routes to India and establish French influence in the Middle East, though the campaign is often remembered for the naval disaster at the Battle of the Nile, where the British fleet, under Admiral Horatio Nelson, destroyed Napoleon's fleet. The land battles, such as the Battle of the Pyramids, showcased his military brilliance. Beyond the battlefield, Napoleon's Egyptian campaign had a significant cultural impact. He brought with him a team of scholars and scientists who studied ancient Egyptian civilization, leading to the discovery of the Rosetta Stone, a key to deciphering Egyptian hieroglyphs. Napoleon's campaign in Egypt ended in strategic withdrawal, but upon his return to France, he found the political situation in turmoil. Seizing the moment, Napoleon staged a coup d'état in November 1799, known as the Coup of 18 Brumaire. Overthrowing the Directory, he established the consulate, with himself as first consul, effectively making him the ruler of France. Napoleon wasted no time in consolidating his power. He implemented sweeping reforms, including the Napoleonic Code, which restructured French law and influenced legal systems worldwide. His domestic policies brought stability to France after years of revolution and turmoil. In 1804, Napoleon took his ambition to the next level, proclaiming himself Emperor of the French. The coronation, held at Notre Dame Cathedral, was a spectacle of power and grandeur. Napoleon famously crowned himself, symbolizing his authority over both the state and the church. With the crown on his head, Napoleon embarked on a series of military campaigns across Europe, known as the Napoleonic Wars. His victories, including the legendary Battle of Austerlitz in 1805, solidified his control over much of Europe. But his expansionist policies also sowed the seeds of resistance. Napoleon's decision to invade Spain in 1808 marked the beginning of his decline. The Peninsular War against Spanish guerrillas and British forces drained French resources and morale, tying down his troops in a brutal and costly conflict. But it was the invasion of Russia in 1812 that truly sealed Napoleon's fate. Initially, his Grande Army advanced deep into Russian territory, but the harsh winter, scorched earth tactics, and lack of supplies led to a catastrophic retreat. The campaign decimated his forces and marked a turning point in his fortunes. Following the disastrous Russian campaign, Napoleon's enemies united against him. In 1813, he suffered a major defeat at the Battle of Leipzig, also known as the Battle of Nations. The following year, coalition forces entered Paris, forcing Napoleon to abdicate the throne. Exiled to the island of Elba, Napoleon's reign seemed to be over. But in 1815, he made a daring return to France, rallying support as he marched towards Paris. This period, known as the 100 Days, saw Napoleon briefly regain power, but it all came to a decisive end at the Battle of Waterloo. On June 18, 1815, Napoleon faced the forces of the Seventh Coalition at Waterloo. Despite his efforts, the arrival of Prussian reinforcements turned the tide against him. Defeated, Napoleon was captured and exiled once more, this time to the remote island of St. Helena. On St. Helena, Napoleon spent his final years in isolation, far from the empire he once ruled. His health deteriorated, and on May 5, 1821, at the age of 51, Napoleon Bonaparte died, leaving behind a legacy that would be debated and studied for generations. In 1840, Napoleon's remains were returned to France, where he was interred in a grand tomb at Les Invalides in Paris. Today, he is remembered as both a military genius and a complex, controversial figure whose actions reshaped the world. Thank you for joining us on this journey through history. If you enjoyed this video, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe for more incredible stories from the past.